Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, Jeff Hardy is all elite.
A new TNT champion was crowned on last night's AEW Dynamite.
Paige VanZant is also all elite.
And the inner circle implodes. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Right, so yeah, last night's episode of AEW Dynamite, like 2 million things happened. And
Eventful, yes.
Very eventful. We're going to cover some of the biggest ones across the course of this video. Jeff Hardy, there you go, boom, straight away. We all saw this coming. If you didn't see Jeff Hardy showing up in AEW coming at this point, you probably don't have an internet connection.
Yes.
That's probably
It was only if we were unsure about his 90-day no-compete, and when that was sorted, I was like, yep, so he's showing up tonight.
Exactly. Once it was clarified that it expired yesterday instead of running through yesterday, here he is. He turns up. Andrade Hardy family office in the ring. It was a pre-advertised segment. Matt Hardy was like, I'm going to make good with you guys. He tried that. They did a vote. Private Party did the thumbs up, thumbs down gimmick. The Butcher and the Blade didn't get a vote. Rude, if you ask me. They all leapt on Matt Hardy. They turned on him. Sting and Darby came out, try and even the odds. Maybe a bit of respect earned through that ridiculous, awesome 6-person tag at Revolution. Who's going to finally be the one to clear the ring? Who else but Jeff Hardy? He comes out, he does his little dance on the ramp as he's coming out, which is interesting when his brother is in peril. But yeah, he came out.
They're going to kill your brother, mate. Do you want
to help them?
Darkness. I missed. Why did he do that one?
Well, there's good reason for that. It was a fun debut. He hit some of his signature spots, including a Swanton bomb. Him and Matt were very emotional when they embraced afterward. It was just nice to see. He has since been given the Twitter graphic, is all elite, all of that stuff. He's signed, it's done. Jeff Hardy's there. Cool. Looking forward to seeing how this goes. Interesting part of this is the theme music, right? Because, like, a lot of us would have assumed, understandably, that song was the WWE track and they owned it and all of this. No, it's stock music. It was produced by a chap named Zach Tempest. The track is called Loaded, and Fightful Select reported prior to Dynamite that AEW were trying to get their hands on it. They were trying to get the rights to it. Clearly, that happened. And it's just kind of a trip to see it, like a song that's so synonymous with WWE on AEW TV. The key takeaway from all of this, everything that's happened with Jeff Hardy, is that the library that AEW purchased the rights to also includes the Holly Cousins theme. So, when they bring in Bob Holly and they give him the belt and he beats everybody, they're sorted.
That's amazing. I had no idea about that. That's fantastic. Look, I'm really excited to see what happens. I think Jeff Hardy's going to make it to the top of his profession, if you ask me. But, like you say, no surprise.
This was really fun. This was nice.
It was weird to have two segments where there was a betrayal. We'll talk a little bit about the other one. And in terms of what happens with Jeff Hardy going forward, we've got some Twitter questions about that. But yes, it was one of those ones where it wasn't a huge surprise, but it was a pleasant surprise. Like, as soon as they started beating up Matt Hardy, they did the old fake out. It's sort of a modern thing, that, isn't it? Where they go like, oh, here's someone making a save, but it's not who you think. And you could see the fans in the audience. They were like, oh, it's Sting and Darby. I mean, that's great. Yeah. It's just not why I've started filming this segment on my phone. And then, obviously, Jeff. It was, like you say, is a real difference maker, I find, when someone goes from over there to somewhere else and still gets the same music. And for a split second, I did think they were going to have to call him, what was it, Jeffrey Nero Hardy? But then, thankfully, they just said Jeff Hardy.
Wouldn't it be a riot if, by some twist of fate, see what I did there, the only thing they could legally have would be the music? I know it's impossible because of their real names and all that, but
he has to do a different signal.
We got the hard guys here, Nero and Matthew. The hard guys. Yeah, love to see Jeff back.
Right, let's move on and talk about more fallout from AEW Dynamite. I've had an issue recently, Andy Murray.
You have a lot of issues.
It's been bugging me because, you know, Sammy Guevara, he's had one TNT championship, then he's had two TNT championships. One's an interim. He tried to justify it on his vlog, I think this past week. Shout out to Ricky Starks for asking the question, saying, well, you know, Daniel Bryan held up two titles at the end of WrestleMania 30. Sorry. Yeah, that's a title unification, mate. That's not an interim title, which is sort of like a placeholder until you fight for the main. It doesn't matter, because now Sammy Guevara has got 0 titles, hasn't he? I don't know why I've been so harsh to him. I really like him. But anyway, Scorpio Sky is your new TNT champion. His streak continues. And God, Sammy Guevara, I was going to say got put through the ringer. Put himself through the ringer last night. He was already obviously had taped up. He had suffered injuries at the Pape. He did that mad Spanish fly off one of the entranceways, I think it was, through a table with Isaiah Cassidy. So he's already not 100%. And then he thought it was a good idea in the TNT Championship match to attempt a 630 senton from the turnbuckle to a table that's been set up outside. Scorpio Sky moved. Sammy Guevara crashed through it, then refused medical help and insisted he could continue the match. And then I think went for it again. And Scorpio in the ring this time, and Scorpio Sky got his knees up. He targeted the ribs. Scorpio Sky eventually hit his finisher. 1, 2, 3. He is your new TNT champion. Not many people can say they've been tag champ and TNT champion. That's a hell of an achievement for him. Scorpio still hasn't lost since March 10th last year. And obviously next week it is now Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow, who's an ungrateful bastard, and I don't want to say any more about him.
There you go. Nice summary of events. Scorpio Sky finally kind of getting a bit of single shine, I guess, with the TNT title win. Although you'd think the Wardlow match will serve as like a backdrop for something with MJF. Wardlow had his promo last night, said, I'm done with this guy.
I'll say when you're done.
Yeah, pal.
You don't do something like that to Maxwell Jacob Friedman and get away with it. Wardlow's world, it's Wilborn's world, and you're just living in it.
I would love to see you try to fight that man. It'd be funny. You know,
F20 for Wilborn. No!
He's gone into orbit. Paige VanZant. This happened.
This was part of it, yes.
She was at ringside. At Revolution, she was in the crowd. They cut to her loads of times.
Skybox.
They had previously said that she was going to be signing a contract at Revolution, but that didn't end up happening. Happened last night. She literally signed it on Ty Conti's ass.
I was going to say, it didn't happen then, but she did sign it on Ty Conti's ass.
Signed it on her ass. It was weird. It was funny. Ty was ringside for the match, seconding Sammy after he went through the table. She got into it with Paige, and then towards the end, Paige kind of hopped the barricade, put Ty into the ring steps. That fed into the finish, all of that stuff. Afterwards, Ty just kind of got unceremoniously dumped on top of Sammy, and Paige literally signed her AEW contract on her ass. So there you go. Paige VanZant is all elite. We've spoken about Paige a few times in the past, haven't we? I think that if Paige VanZant can be trained to even work a serviceable, very okay match, she's going to be a megastar in pro wrestling. Intangibles all over the place. She immediately felt like a natural in this company, like in terms of her presence and like how she came off on screen. No fears about her whatsoever. If you can train her up to even just an okay level, she's going to be fantastic. No brainer of a signing. Good.
Yeah, huge for the women's division, in my opinion. Like you say, when they first came out and they had American Top Team there, and you've got, the likes of Jorge Masvidal and JDS, and everyone's like, never mind all that, who's that?
Yeah.
Paige VanZant just getting all the attention that just like you say, felt like a natural.
She fills the
in
screen
pro
when
wrestling.
she's on it. Like loads of pro wrestlers, even people who've been doing this for 30 years, don't have that. So
And we discussed this, or we sort of speculated on this on the AEW Dynamite preview, WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, or just check their podcast charts because we're number one. That's right. And
in the modesty chart as well.
Exactly. And and we said sort of Tay Conti's a nice sort of first feud for her.
Yeah.
But yeah, hell of an addition in my opinion. Very excited to see what they do next. And with the whole, it's just nice to see Dan Lambert having a bit of luck. He's not had it a lot recently in AEW or elsewhere. If anyone watched the UFC over the weekend, so. Very excited to see what happens next with Paige and with everyone else in this stable. And congratulations to Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, good stuff.
Very excited to see what happens next with Ethan Page and his tightest tits. The Inner Circle is no more. There was an implosion, effectively, last night. Jericho opened Dynamite, welcomed us to Wednesday Night Dynamite, and did this whole thing where he said, oh, sorry, I was a bit of a knobhead at the pay-per-view. Eddie Kingston, I apologise. There was a great, actually, it's well worth going to watch it. I'm not going to be able to do it any justice. A really emotional promo from Eddie Kingston, who just, as he always does, really laid it all out. Don't do the what chance, because, well, you watch
murdered that guy. To be fair, that was tremendous.
I think that was more of a scorched earth thing than Moxley did to that knobhead who heckled him.
Get that piece of shit.
It's just like that's like and then the other one was just like, oh yeah. If that was me, I'd be like, oh yeah, maybe I really need to reassess my life decisions. Why am I watting Eddie Kingston? Anyway, regardless, Jericho eventually shakes Eddie Kingston's hand, and then out comes the greatest tag team in AEW, and Daniel Garcia. You're like, what's going on? What are you gits doing out here? Big fight breaks out. Santana and Ortiz get involved, and then Chris Jericho betrays them. Jake Hager comes out like, Chris, what you doing, man? Psych, I'm on your side. They destroy, like I say, Santana and Ortiz, and eventually Hager, jacked as he is, power bombs Eddie Kingston from the ring apron through a table that had been set up, I believe, by two. But I wasn't paying that much attention at that point. It was just wild. But yes, the first heel faction in AEW, Andy Murray, is no more.
And they've been replaced by the Jericho Appreciation Society.
How did I forget the name?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I do think that the Inner Circle had kind of outlived their purpose a little bit. So, yeah, it's cool to see like a refreshing of the ranks. They did do a lot of this stuff on the same night. We had the Andrade Hardy Family Office thing. We also maybe had the Pinnacle splitting up.
Yeah, Tully got fired.
Tully got fired. Wardlow's no longer there. FTR seemed to say they want to do something different. Spears was probably eating a carrot or something somewhere.
He's still the best.
He's still the greatest. Yeah, I like the angle, I like the promo, I like the segment, and I'm excited for the new direction. So what more can you ask for?
If you want to know our thoughts on AEW Dynamite, you can read more about them at WhatCulture.com, and we'll be reviewing it, myself and the Dudley Boys, a little bit later on today. What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from. Shall we move on to the Twitter questions?
No. Of course.
At WhatCulture WWE, of course, if you want to get in touch with us. First question today, as I promised, is all about Jeff Hardy. Shamar says, hey guys, now that Jeff Hardy is in AEW, do you see him with a singles run? And if so, who would you like to see him face in a singles feud?
Ooh, I definitely think he'll have singles matches, right? You want to mix it up, don't you? Because Jeff Hardy, like the Hardy Boys are obviously all-time great tag team.
Mm-hmm. They're going to do probably some stuff with the Young Bucks eventually.
Yeah, like particularly for this generation of fan, the Hardys would have been top guys when people of our age were coming up as wrestling fans. So yeah, do stuff with them as a tag team. But also Jeff is a single star himself. So yeah, absolutely. Let's fire him into both. Why not? As far as people I'd like to see him face Darby Allin, boom, there you go.
Yeah.
I think Jeff Hardy's quite an obvious influence on Darby. 2 generations of Daredevil. I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I could sit here and probably list about 20 different people. Dante Martin.
Brandon Cutler.
Sammy Guevara.
Pharaoh the dog.
But, we're just spoiled for choice. It's one of those where, a bit like when Keith Lee arrived, a bit like when all of the recent, Punk, Danielson, Cole arrived, you're like, I want to see him versus them. Oh, and them. I'm in a sweet shop and I've got free reign and I don't know what I want to see next. But I think Darby Allin's the first most obvious thing.
Fun, wouldn't it?
But right now, they're a bit, it can't be they're not going to be a dynamic between them, but regardless, let's have Jeff Hardy eventually fight Darby Allin and then get laid out and then Sting does a swanton bomb. That's my pick.
Very nice.
McDaniel's Barbier. Hope I've got that right. Hope that's your name, by the way. Right. Good morning, friends. With the Go Big Show having its season finale tonight on TBS, do you think WWE could be waiting for that show to end before they debut Cody?
Unless there's some kind of legal wrangling there, which I don't know how feasible that would be.
A Go Big Show no compete.
Yeah, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not Ally McBeal. I don't know about the law.
Nice Ally McBeal reference.
Yeah, I didn't know any other fictional lawyers, so that's the first one that I came up with. Judge Dredd. There you go. So unless there's some kind of legal thing there, and I don't think there would be, I don't think so. I don't think that's factoring into their decision making. I just think that Cody is a very chaotic man. Mm-hmm. That's my answer.
I think they're arguing about money, about creative,
and chaos.
And once that's all dealt with, even if it had already been dealt with in the past week, I think they've gone Raw's in Jacksonville on Monday. If they don't do it then, I don't know when they're going to do it. And also, I don't know what Seth Rollins is going to do at WrestleMania if they don't do that.
Cry about not being on the card.
Yep, all get stunned with Stone Cold. Stunned by Stone Cold along with Kevin Owens. Matthew Gourmet gives us our final question of the day. Says, morning lads, what team would you like to see have a major feud with Regal & Co? Sorry, I have no better name for them at the moment. Love your faces. Oh, hashtag King of the Night. Special one just for you, William Regal. Put your left forward. There we go.
They are.
Oh God, it was absolutely
brutality.
Very exciting seeing them destroy. What were they called?
The Workhorsemen.
They're really great, aren't they?
Really great to see Anthony Henry. I love JD Drake as well, obviously. I put him over all the time, but really great to see Anthony Henry on a major wrestling show again. That guy rules. I've lost my train of thought. FTR, that was my answer.
Yes.
I actually like it. I know a lot of people like FTR, like the Styles Clash with high flying teams and stuff, and everyone's into that. I actually really like them against like grittier teams as well. Like they had their first match against my boys, the Butcher and the Blade, in their debut. It was a really underrated match in their run, and I think them versus Moxley and Danielson would just be such a tough, gritty, technical battle and a lot of fun.
I'm a sadist. Varsity Blondes.
Oh, those poor boys.
Other than that, I'd just have them face Jurassic Express, give them the belts, and have them beat everybody.
What about bring back the Nightmare Collective or something?
Nope.
No? Okay.
Never.
Oh, okay.
Let's move on to today's and finally.
Remember Mel's entrance music? That was a riot.
Yeah! I don't want to remember anything.
Peak butt rock, really good.
Today is Luchasaurus' birthday, Andy Murray, and a great tweet from Tony Khan, as if the accusations of us being biased towards AEW can't get any stronger in the comments.
I got told the other day I was biased against AEW.
Brilliant, of course, yeah.
Make up your minds, the internet. Jeez.
Hey. You can like both wrestling shows.
Yeah, you can.
People need to say that more on social media.
Guys, you can like all wrestling companies, says a guy who watches 2 on Twitter, probably. It's
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Come on.
You know what everyone likes, though?
It doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't, does it? And yet, somehow, I am opening WrestleMania 38.
No, it didn't work.
Anyway, Tony Khan tweeted, "Happy birthday, Luchasaurus. You don't look a day over 65 million."
Well, he's 65 million and one now, isn't
Yeah,
he?
indeed.
So, there you go.
Actually, go and check out, if you haven't done so already, to celebrate his birthday, my interview with Luchasaurus, because it does have a twist ending. That's all I'll say for now. Go and check it out.
It's like Vince
It's
Russo.
somewhere on this channel. Just go and search for
Yeah,
it.
you'll find it.
But yeah, happy birthday to you, Luchasaurus. Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. As I said, myself and the Daddy Boys sitting down to review AEW Dynamite a little bit later on today. Plus, you can let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions. Big day tomorrow, Andy Murray. Where can people find you on social media?
You can find me on social media at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for humongous, because humongous is the size of the good time we're going to have tomorrow when we do Big Dumb Friday. What you guys want to do is watch out tomorrow morning when I put a little thread up. Send me your dumbest, stupidest, most moronic, idiotic, worst wrestling questions ever.
Doesn't even have to be wrestling, just funny.
As long as they're funny, I will pick the 3 funniest ones. That's 6, but I will pick the 3 funniest ones and put them in the video. It'll be a good time. We'll put like a crocodile in the background, or what did we have last week?
It's Big Dumb Friday, you flipping losers.
It's very offensive, but yes, we'll have some. This video is like 25 minutes long because I just can't stop
You
talking.
lucky bastards.
Yeah,
you can
you
follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.